All right, with this West 2 Facebook Live update, I'm Chief Meteorologist Tony Manoff. A lot of ground to cover here. We've got some storms out there right now, and we've got Invest 94 that is trying to get better organized here, even while over Hispaniola, and then Umberto also looking pretty good and pretty much on the verge of becoming a hurricane. So let's start this with a look at what is going on here across the western tropical Atlantic, because there are many folks with many plans wanting to know what they may or may not be able to do heading into the weekend and early next week. Can't tell you how many folks have reached out to me about their cruise this weekend and on into next week, so we're going to cover that as well. All right, let's start here by taking a look at the tropics, and you can see with our brand new graphics package, by the way, Stacy Goldstein, thanks for popping in. There is Umberto. Going to make that trek on the south and west side of Bermuda. While that's going on, Invest 94 is going to be pulling away from Hispaniola tonight and tomorrow, moving into the Bahamas, and then I think getting into a even more favorable environment for development for a couple reasons. One, the wind shear is lower. The water temperatures are really, really warm. There's a lot of what we call potential tropical cyclone energy there. So there's a look now at Invest 94. Let's see if the new outlook has come in. Let me do one quick thing here. 8 o'clock. 80, 90. No change there. Showers and thunderstorms showing signs of organization. Yep, tropical wave. Low pressure is forming. Expect to become a tropical depression when it is in the vicinity of the central and northwest Bahamas come tomorrow, and then track northwestward. So there we go. All right, long range forecast. Chances of wind, rain, and storm surge impacts for the portions of the southeast coast are increasing. Yep, we've been saying that all day. So pretty much in line with what we've been saying. All right, let's take a look now at the satellite loop here. You see moving now northwest at 17. So it's chugging along. We've been talking about this thing called Fujiwara. This is expected to slow down somewhat, but not as quickly as what was forecasted yesterday. So the Fujiwara spinorama around the boundary may not happen initially, but maybe somewhere down the road there. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out. Now let's take a look now at the radar. Come pulling away from San Juan. You can see the heavy rain there over towards Puerto Rico, over towards Hispaniola, and even the Bahamas getting some rain there. Not in association, though, with Invest 94. All right, model tracks and trends. Let's do this, and of course I'll take all your questions coming up here in just a sec. Let me just get through a few of these. Susan Michelle, Scotty Steele, L. Nicole De Lior, Bill Linton, good to have you there, sir. Kevin Conrad. So there's that. You can see Invest 94. Very good agreement. Just east of Nassau in the Bahamas. You can see Sunday 3, 4 o'clock almost due east of Central Florida by about 200 to 300 miles. And depending on how big this storm gets, will determine whether or not we get some outer bands along the coast. At the very least, though, we are going to have some rough surf and seas there. So that you can put that in the bank. Abby, Scotty, Chrissy Soto, good to have you guys. Let's take a look now at the intensity forecast. You can see a lot of them making this a strong tropical storm or a hurricane as we go from Sunday night on into Monday. So that's one of the things we're going to have to watch. The other thing is the second feature. There's Umberto. Slow, northwest at 6. Pressure's now down to 1,000 millibars. And when you take a look at the track, this is a forecast to become a hurricane on Friday, major hurricane on Sunday. Christine Marsh, Dawn Malpass, Marlena Diaz. Good to have you guys all in here. And if you guys don't mind, sharing this feed tonight, we want to get the word out about what's going on with both of these features, as there could be some potential impact with at the very least some rough surf and seas. Let's take a look at the models on Umberto. Nothing too crazy going on with that, as you can see. Curling off towards the west, then the northwest, and the intensity forecast on this one looks like this. Again, a major hurricane, even potentially a Category 4 hurricane, well, it makes that turn around Bermuda. Stay away from Mary Fisher. It's going to be close, but I think we're going to be okay. Here's the Euro versus the GFS, the side by side. Very good agreement on Umberto. You can see the GFS is, although a little bit quicker with the forward speed, and then the Euro, and then very good agreement between the Euro and the GFS on future Imelda coming into the Carolinas. So that'll be something that we'll watch there going forward, and everything kind of pulling off towards the north and east. I do want to show you our in-house FutureCast model because this is a little bit west of the others. Here's our FutureCast model right over Clarencetown, Rock Sound. And then you can see it getting much better organized as it's pushing through and just east of Miami. At that location right there, east of Miami, that is about 150 to 200 miles east of Miami. Look at the bands on the western side with our FutureCast model scraping the west coast of Florida, the east coast of Florida. So that is something that we're going to be watching very, very carefully as it moves to the northwest. So our FutureCast model is west, not by a lot, but enough, of both the Euro, the GFS, and many of our tropical models. I just wanted to put that out there. A lot of questions from the surfers. What about the surf? When does it start increasing? Well, not tomorrow, not Saturday, but I think as we get you on into Sunday, there's where the surf really starts to pick up now along the entire east coast there of the Florida Peninsula. And then while that's going on, you can see Umberto charging off towards the northwest. And that's going to be some very, very rough surf there as we head into at least the first half there of next week. So a lot to watch. Now, I do want to do a few other things here with everybody. I think we need to show the Euro, the GFS, plenty of models, different things to show you here. You guys know I'm a fan of doing that. So there's a look at the water vapor channel. Boom. Right into Myrtle Beach, really. And then behind that, you can see just north of Bermuda, Umberto getting sheared apart.
Hey, Tony.
And then, yeah.
Can I help you real fast?
Yeah, go for it, man.
I don't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Because you're in your new workspace, you see you've got the controls here.
Oh, yeah.
Let
Pull
me,
it down.
Is that?
I think if you just pull this down.
Yeah. I don't mean to
No. That's
interrupt
fine.
you, buddy.
Yeah. I think that's what's...
Well, let me just do it this way here.
All right.
I'm sorry, everybody.
No, it's okay.
Just bear with me a
All right,
few
so that
seconds.
sets the script
Yeah,
permanently?
I'm
Oh,
gonna.
that's good.
Yeah, just give me a second here, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna reset this for you. That way, it's just good and set. Almost there. Sorry, everybody. I'm not trying to
He's a
sabotage.
perfectionist.
It's a literal pain.
Don't want any of that nonsense. Jody, I hear you. Tracy, good to see you. Dahlia, Regrev, Dawn says hi, by the
All
way.
right, that'll be good for now. That's a little better.
All right.
Sorry, everybody.
No, that's all good. There it is. Boom. So he is actually working on putting together our new look with the new graphics for these live streams that we do on what's called OBS Studio. So he's been working. He's been here since 7:30 this morning. That's my man Eric right there.
Love you, Tony.
Yeah. Well, no, it's truth, baby. Phyllis, it's okay. Hi from Okeechobee. You guys, Jennifer, Nancy, we're just chilling. Christine March, good to have you there. So there's the that's the Euro. Let me show you the winds on the Euro as well. Again, lots of graphics here. We're gonna show you every possible meteorological solution and scenario. You see the Euro? The Euro is east of those islands there. Remember, the FutureCast was right on top of them. So we want the Euro to be right. For us, not so much for the Carolinas. That would get pretty ugly. Then look what the Euro does with Umberto. Slows it down, much slower paced storm right there, and then just west of Bermuda. So rainfall, I think we need to talk about this. When you look at the rainfall here, The concern down the road, not a whole lot of rain for us, but look at the Carolinas there. South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia. That is some significant rain. And many times the models underdo it because they can't really understand how much moisture is in a tropical system. So they always underdo the amount of moisture. Here's a look at the GFS. And you can see right there, look what it does. Yesterday, it had it getting absorbed. Now it doesn't. Right into the Carolinas. There's Humberto. And then down to the south. It had a little secondary system developing in the Gulf. It's kind of backed off on that today. I'm okay with that. And then let's do the wind gusts with the GFS here for you. You can see two separate entities. GFS pretty much right in line with the Euro. Almost the same exact location. You can see there's Humberto. They're getting pretty close there. And then you can see the GFS bringing into Horry County, Myrtle Beach area as we head into Tuesday. And there's Bermuda again with Humberto. So lots of moving parts. Now GFS earlier has done a very good job with the amount of rain. See what it's doing there? It's not perfect, but I think it's better than what the forecast for the rainfall is than the European. So if it comes into South and North Carolina, there's going to be a strip of 8 to 12 right along that path. I guarantee you that. I just know that from past history and for doing this such a long time. So again, something that just to keep in mind. All right, let's take some questions. Betsy Clark, Carol Stage, Tammy. Good to have you guys. Franny Lolo. Yes, these are all new graphics. Here's the 7-day. Eric has been busting his chomp on this. But we got a nighttime scene for the 7-day inland.
It animates.
It does animate. Yep. I'm doing it. See, look, if I don't animate it, see what happens? The police, woo, woo, woo! I just got a ticket. So there you go. See, the background's animating. Lots of things animating. And now listen, we have the coast too. Pretty palm trees, right? Look at that. Eric's going to be proud of me. Oh, look at
You're doing so good.
Yeah. Sarcasm is a beautiful thing, folks. Brian, good to have you there. Yeah, I got to slap him around every once in a while. Brian, what's your question? Fire away, young man. Thanks, Leroy. Lori Bowen, good to have you there, my friend. Always appreciate you. And Brian has a question. I don't see it yet, but let's go back to the tropics here. All right, so there's the two of them. Understandable. Yeah. Hey, Tony. Yeah. I think, Stephanie, we're going to have impacts on the eastern side. At the very least, I think there's going to be some rough surf and seas. Doesn't look like the combining is going to happen, at least not initially. I think both storms will now develop. Now that Humberto has gone really slow and Invest 94 has not slowed down, there's probably going to be a safe enough distance that both will develop, and then potentially, as it gets a little bit more northward there in latitude, there may be some jigsawing around each other. Larissa loves the new graphics, Eric. Now I can see all the 7 days. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, he fixed it. Miriam Trujillo, good to have you there. How will hurricane season go in October? Brian, right now it looks busy. I think we've gone through a little of an active punch here, and I think we'll stay busy for the month of October as well. Maybe not the first week, because usually when you have 2 or 3 storms, you do get at least a little bit of a breather, and then things pick right back up. Brian, I think I just answered it. Did I not? You asked me about October, right? Russell, it's pretty much in the same location as yesterday, but our FutureCast model is a little bit closer. So that observation there on your part is indeed correct. What day? Monday. It's going to pass us on Monday. Saturday is busy. Yes, Brian, busy. Definitely going to be busy. Watching and waiting. That is all we can do. Well said. So there's the front. Stalls out. And then you can see our 2 features there. Invest 94. A comfortable distance away that the two aren't really, significantly affecting each other at that point. Vinny, we need a win tonight, buddy. Do you think? John, I don't think you're in the clear. Not yet. I think we need to watch this for another day or two to get a little more consistency. And I say that because the storm is just now coming away from the northern side of Hispaniola. So once we start to see it start to wind up, then I think we'll have a better feel longer term where it's going to leaving Florida for how long? Denise. I think your cruise ship is going to have a different itinerary for you there by the time it's all said and done. Because the Bahamas is not where you want to be the next couple of days. Think there is flying into Orlando? Into Orlando Tuesday. Nope, I don't. I think you're fine. This is from Carol Sage. All right. Francis saying hi to John. Dawn down in to Miriam. Hello. Not clear. Nope, not in the clear. We are definitely not in the clear. I do want to show you this though. This is you start getting into October or late September. One of the things we do look for, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but when a system goes by, you can get less humid and drier air to move in. Not necessarily cooler air by the day, but definitely more comfortable. How many hurricanes you're predicting in October? Right, that's a tough one. I think if you look at where we are now, what was forecast, you're probably looking at 2 to 3, maybe 4 at most. And doesn't mean they're coming to Florida. So we'll just have to wait and see on that. Joseph Yep Tango, Bob Johnson, North Carolina. North Carolina is going to get a lot of rain out of this. It could lead to some flooding issues, Karen DP. So you need to keep an eye, very close eye on this for you guys up there. This picture is out of our hair by Monday night, so you're good to go there. Dave Donnelly, Port Orange. When will we be back? Probably not until Thursday. Yeah, sad to see. I know we're gonna miss her, Franny. 20 days. That sounds good, Elizabeth. How much rain do you think for a job? From the storm, right now, it doesn't look like much, but any deviation by 50 to 100 miles can make a big difference in how much rain we get. So, for example, let's take a look at the graph model here. Goes out. See, there's a little bit of a band right there. Let me see. Do I have the Florida model graph? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna look for. Let's see here. Hold your horses. All right. So here's the graph. So the graph. Notice where the graph is. It's got a center of circulation just east of that's about 150 to 200 miles east of Miami, come 8 o'clock Sunday. And you can see the bands coming onshore with that particular. Let me do this. I'm going to show you the futurecast rainfall. Hang tight. Just adjusting a few graphics here. So, it's got a little bit of orange there by Sunday evening, so there could be a couple of inches on the back side of the storm because it's a little bit closer. Nick Greco's in the house. Karen Peavy's in the house. 3-night leaving tomorrow. Well, again, if you look at this, if you leave tomorrow, that's Friday. So Saturday and Sunday. What's today? Today's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, you're right in the heart of that thing. Have some Dramamine ready to go. The surf will be pretty rough. Flying back home, you're fine here. Leave Sunday on a cruise. Yeah, a lot of cruise questions here. Monday morning. Okay, here's Monday morning. Monday morning, the storm is going to be right about east of Orlando. So there'll be some squalls, a breeze for sure. Too early to say how much rain at this point, Brian. It's got to get a little bit closer. Surprisingly, see really nothing to go. Daryl, please don't say that too loud, and please don't say that again because when you do that, you know what happens. William, yes, I did see him today. If you have trip insurance, you can cancel your cruise, or the cruise line might say, you know what, we're going to refund everybody's money because we can't sail. But I always get trip insurance during hurricane season just to make sure. There's that. So the Futurecast model is pretty impressive looking. I'm not going to lie to you. When we look at the Euro and the GFS, here's the winds, just to kind of give you a different flavor. Check this out. So the Euro is a little bit east of our Futurecast, but that's a well-defined eye there. And you can see those winds that's hurricane. That's a hurricane right there, and then right behind it. The Euro's a little bit slower with Umberto compared to yesterday. And here's the GFS. Just so you guys know. There's the GFS. GFS also, two distinctive storms, hurricanes. It almost looks like there's a little bit of wind shear on the western side of Umberto, if you like the GFS model, before it comes ashore there, between South and North Carolina. So, something to watch. But I don't like the way this is setting up rainfall-wise for the Carolinas. That is a lot of rain from this tropical system. So something that we're going to have to watch going forward for sure. And the Euro rainfall, the Euro is notoriously underdone when it comes to tropical forecasting. So it's got the strip of where the storm's coming in, which the placement looks good, but I just don't think the amount is good. I think it's way, way underdone. So, but we'll see how it plays out. Wave action. I do want to talk about this for folks here in Florida. Wave action will start to pick up Sunday afternoon. There's Monday. As it goes by and past us into the Carolinas, you're still going to have a lot of rough surf. That's sticking around. To Tuesday, somebody was asking when it might be safe to get back in the water. Even Wednesday it's rough. So really, and that's interesting. Why is that building back south? It may take a while when you have two storms really kind of bouncing around out there. So next Tuesday the Gulf looks good, Wendy. Got rain coming my way up here. Aaron, you're going to have, you may need a boat. How does it look flying out of MCO? Tuesday night looks fine. Robert, Nilda, anytime, my friend. Joseph Yep Tango. Very familiar to run. Yes. Yeah. You got deers in the house. Can you see a big fire? When will there be a clear up? Clearing up. Clear up's going to be pretty quick. Let me show you this other graphic that we made today. So there's Monday. Storm's going by to our east. You can see 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then by Monday evening, it's up north. We got that drier air coming in Monday night and Tuesday. Maybe a few isolated storms on Tuesday afternoon, but less humid air typically begins to build southward behind tropical systems as you get into late September and October. So that's going to be something that we'll watch here for everybody behind this storm. Will Donnell in Florida get William doesn't look that way, so let me come in. Well, it's Brian. It may not kick him away, but what it will likely do, and this is important, is create just enough of a barrier to keep it from coming over Florida. So you see that right there. See how it stalls out. So it creates a little barrier where it starts to feel the southwesterly winds along that stationary front, and that we're hoping is going to be just enough to keep it away from Florida. Now there are a couple of models. Let me go back to this other graphic for those that may have just gotten in here a little bit later. I'll show you the spaghetti plots here again. All right, watch this. I do think, Dawn, that we will have some effects along the coast. I think the surf is going to be elevated. I think that if it stays in that corridor right there, there may be some fringe bands impacting the eastern side of the peninsula. Now, if the HFSA or the UK Met right there is right, that's a lot closer, then there would be rain along the eastern side of the peninsula. And there's one model that actually wants to bring this storm into Jacksonville. So that's why I'm saying we don't want to let our guard down. We want to keep watching this just to kind of make sure. Estimates on the Space Coast, we'll see. Tom, I think the Space Coast is going to have, some gusty winds and some squalls on the backside of 94. Especially if it widens in size, and that's the thing. I think by tomorrow we're going to have a much better feel for what we're going to have, just because it's right now pulling away from Hispaniola and trying to organize. So that for me is a biggie. We will have another couple model runs under our belt, and we'll hopefully have a little more consistency. You can see the trend Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's definitely an uptick there. It's relatively new, a couple years old, Keem. Sometimes it does well with one particular type of storm. Other times it doesn't do as well with the next storm. So we just got to watch the trends on each and every one of them. So we're going to be estimated. Yeah, that seems to be the toe here. A strong tropical storm or Category 1 hurricane. Will this system cause delays at the Atlanta airport? Well, I will say this. If the models are right, and it goes into Savannah, and then curls back towards the west there, there's going to be impacts to a lot of the hubs in the southeast. And because Atlanta is such a busy airport, there's probably a pretty good chance that it could cause some issues with some delays there. So I would keep down the back of the brain there. Chris, yes, it definitely will. And Matthew was a little bit closer, John, but yes, the right idea. And you remember Dorian? Dorian was in the northern Bahamas, coming straight west, right into the Palm Beaches, then stopped and then went due north. So there's been some weird things over the years. So that's why I'm saying we don't want to let our guard down. I want you to keep watching stuff. All right, real quickly, let me show you the local forecast here. And then I've got to give Eric some help. Got to keep plotting it here. South Florida, Yachty, again, I think they're going to be okay. But it's the coast, about 150, 200 miles east of Miami, if this Futurecast model is right. So there's out the door tomorrow morning, looking pretty good. I actually think Friday is going to be a decent beach day until the afternoon. And it's going to be a warm one, so if you're feeling cold coming on and want to make it a beach day, I think tomorrow's a good beach day. Yeah. Douglas, we'll see. Hopefully not. So there it is. Right around 90 at the beaches. And then 92, 93 back towards the interior. Okay, real quickly here, let me show you the 7-day, coast and inland. And then I'm going to start making some updates here, guys. There's your 7-day along the coast. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right around 90. Rain chances lower behind the storm system now, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. When we take a look at the coastal 7-day forecast, again, you can see temperatures will be in the middle 80s and overnight lows holding in the 70s. All right, gang, let me make some updates. We'll have brand new model data for you tonight at 10 on the CW18 and a new cone on Umberto at 11. Don't forget, I appreciate you guys sharing the feed tonight. Remember, we want to get the word out to as many people as possible just to play it safe on Invest 94. Make sure everybody knows what's going on there. You guys have a great night. See you tonight at 10 and 11 and right back here tomorrow on Facebook Live. Until then, have a great night.